Good evening. Welcome to Soundtracks with Birdman. Tonight, after many failed attempts, we are finally getting the Predator. So, yay! And I am expecting thunderstorms, so I did not dress my normal attire for tonight because if it starts to thunder and lightning, the dogs will be climbing all over me. But I see Mr. Erik Woods is wearing a Captain America shirt, and RetroReels is that a Lost Boys t-shirt?
Yeah.
Wow, rocking and styling. Cool. And Boomer has green glowing eyes, I think.
Oh, please. I figured I'd be the Predator, but I didn't want to reveal the Predator.
Okay,
well,
we'll
spoils the movie. And of course,
right over there.
We did that on the thumb, I think.
Yeah. Oh, let me hit pause. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. Cool.
So, is this anyone's favorite Arnold movie?
Favorite which movie?
Definitely up there.
Favorite
Arnold
Arnold
movie?
I'll say yes.
I think it's a fantastic movie. It's my wife's favorite movie of all time.
Really?
That's a good one. I still think my favorite Arnold is maybe Total Recall, but this is up there.
Yeah, it's in the top 5 for sure. Like there's T2, Total Recall, True Lies.
I love Running Man too, though. I'll say that, but yeah.
It's one of the best scores written for an Arnold film, though.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
It has a great ensemble cast for an action movie too, I think.
Yeah. Agreed.
Almost like the Expendables before the Expendables, if you think about it.
Yeah. And it looks great. Well, I mean, all John McTiernan movies look great. But if you got a movie like this made today, it would just kind of look like a standard B movie. But this is a professional looking film. And I think it's also one of Arnold's best performances as well. This is one that really made him besides Terminator, but I think past that, I know Commando was like, that gung-ho Arnold type character, but I think this one really made him a star.
Retro, you got this in 4K?
Yeah, I got the set there.
Cool. Does it look good in 4K?
Brilliant.
Brilliant?
Yeah, a lot better than the previous Blues.
I think you're going to end up selling me a 4K thing eventually.
You got to start watching some horror films first.
I don't know about that. Horror films are scary.
I don't know. Maybe in October I'll see if we can do a Jerry Goldsmith run because he's done a lot of horror movies soundtracks, and I know I can at least reel Birdman in with Jerry Goldsmith, right? We've not Alien yet, right? And
we haven't.
Are you going to tell us now you've never seen The Omen?
Oh no, he has.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
We did all four.
The scariest film you've seen was Star Trek 2.
I gave him a hard time about that last week. I made a comment.
Scared me as a child. And for the record, so did Darth Vader. So,
no, I commented to your chat, man. Well, Star Wars is a bigger horror movie than Halloween because the Death Star is like Michael Myers times 1,000.
Very valid point.
What logic are you using?
Birdman logic.
The other movies you mentioned, you might be able to consider horror movies. I haven't, at least most of them. Some, I think even The Fury, I haven't seen in ages, but I think it still folds into the horror category in a bit, but not Star Trek 2. I don't know. There is the part where you see the hung up bodies that whose throats slip, but it
was those little bug ear creatures that got.
Yeah. To this day, many people I talk to will not watch Star Trek 2 because of the bug thing, but okay.
I can fully understand that. They're frightening. Let me welcome the chat real fast. We've got Big Al in the house. And did you just drop a video on the new Jurassic World movie, Big Al? Then we got Gigawatt. Hello, if it bleeds, we can kill it. Yep, that's what they tell me. We got Chris P, who's getting to the chopper. David Pinsack's in the house. This stuff will make you okay. Yeah, Tyrannosaurus is just like Jurassic Park. Yep. RetroReels is in the chat and on the show, multitasking. Good job. HS Collectibles. How are you? I'll throw that back up real fast. And Retro has supplied me with a copy of Showgirls, gentlemen. So
We're doing
Ooh.
it. We're doing it.
y'all let me know what your schedule is, and we will put it on the schedule.
Oh, Showgirls.
Showgirls.
I have
And
the
yes,
Blu-ray of that one. Just a regular Blu-ray. Is Showgirls in 4K yet? I'm curious.
You can get it in 4K.
Okay.
Germany put it out, I think.
I see.
is it in German or is it still in English?
No, it'll be in English as well.
Oh, okay.
I've got the.
Can you imagine
I've got a few
Showgirls
from
in Germany?
Would it make the acting better?
I'm sure it makes some things better, but
You can watch that gyrating in the swimming pool in 4K.
Yeah. Yeah. Cinematic gold.
Platinum, baby, platinum. Well, y'all ready to start this masterpiece of a film?
Yeah, that's
I am.
Definitely.
All right. You gonna do the 3, 2, 1?
Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1. Play. And I still miss that 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, I do too. And I liked how they would fool around with it sometimes, like they did the when they had the Peanuts movie, they had Schroeder banging the tune on the keyboard instead of the fanfare, which I thought was a nice twist. But now it's 20th Century Studios.
Missed out on the score album as well. The score album's got the
Yeah, it does.
fanfare for Alien 3 instead.
And we
It
didn't get
makes
the
no
soundtrack.
sense to do that. I don't know why they did that. And that carried over from Varese to both Entrada versions.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Originally, it was to uphold an agreement or something that they'd put it out, and they didn't on Alien 3, so they put it on there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just stuck since. It's daft.
Why did it take so long to get a soundtrack for Predator?
For Predator?
Yeah.
Money. I mean, all of these, there was a change with the union. And I'm pretty sure that was spearheaded by Robert Townsend at Varese because, in the 90s, we got all those 30-minute releases.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason was, I think it was like, I was going to say $15,000 increments. I could be wrong, for every 15 minutes of music. So you'd have to pay for every 15 minutes, so they could only afford 30. But then there was a deal put in place where it was based on the amount of copies that you were going to print. And so they had a flat rate. Don't quote me on this. This is what I remember. But that changed the game where then they can afford the entire session. And that's why that kind of limited edition, especially the Varese Sarabande CD Club 2.0 came out. And then everybody started doing limited editions and working out deals with studios. And I know there were some studios that were sticklers. I think it was Paramount, maybe. And I think it was La La Land that cracked that egg. But yeah, that's why most of this stuff is all limited edition based on the rules for the union. Now, if you get the score recorded, let's say in London, where it's just a payout, or Seattle, which is just a payout, then you can afford to put out the whole thing because you don't have to pay the reuse fees. And that's the big thing, the reuse fees. And so that makes things expensive with a union orchestra.
When did you guys first see this movie?
Oh my God. I saw it on television.
So did I.
And I missed the opening space. So all I saw was this.
So did I. I think I caught it on Showtime when I was late and I'm a kid and I'm like, oh, it's like a military type movie.
Yeah.
Arnold. I didn't realize there was going to be an alien in it.
That's right. And I thought that was way better.
Yeah.
I saw it on TV first and I had no idea about the creature or anything. That was the best way to see it.
Agreed.
So do you think they should have cut that from the film?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that was like that was like a last second thing, because then it was like, well, where did the alien come from? Or was it an alien? And I think the surprise makes it so great, because you just think it's a typical Arnold Schwarzenegger gung ho movie, which is what it is for the first half. And that's what I love about it too. Like these guys are unstoppable. And now finally, for the first time, there's something that is a formidable foe for Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he gets his ass kicked in the film. Like he doesn't win. He really doesn't win. He just kind of cheats death.
I mean, look at the cast. You got Carl Weathers, you got Jesse Ventura. I recognize some of these other stars too. I mean, this is.
You get one of the writers, Shane Black.
Yeah.
It's a great cast. It's a fantastic cast. It's so well shot. Thank goodness they got rid of Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Stan Winston is the real hero of this film.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He came in after the fact.
Yeah, it was like a plane ride with James Cameron, and he kind of sketched the idea, and like, yeah, that's what we're going with. Have you seen the behind the scenes footage with Van Damme in the little suit?
Yeah, he looks kind of like a weird duck.
No shame on Van Damme though.
No, I mean,
no. It just
I heard he got sacked because he just kept passing out because he was so hot.
Oh yeah. But I mean, this really made Kevin Peter Hall a star. It was this, and then Harry and the Hendersons.
I saw on the internet the suit weighed like 200 pounds. I would not want to be running around the jungle in a 200-pound suit.
Right. And they were on location for this too, which is incredible.
Yeah, we just got the famous, what is it, the handshake where they're almost arm wrestling in midair.
Isn't that the best?
Doesn't everybody do that? I mean, look,
If we were all in the same room together, we'd have done that.
Yeah, of course.
Wait,
when I meet you for the first time, Daniel, that's what I'm going to do.
If my arm goes down, I say, total cheat. You lift it up. I saw it.
There is one sour note I have from this film, and I got the opportunity to meet Carl Weathers, and he was the biggest arsehole going.
Whoa! Huh.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't want to talk, just wanted to sign his autograph, and that was it. Asked him for a photograph, he refused.
Wow. That can happen. I had a friend who he said he worked on a he was an intern on that movie with Matthew Perry and Elizabeth Hurley. It was like some kind of stupid comedy about scamming, but he was an intern on that, and he couldn't get an autograph from Matthew. I think he said Matthew Perry was on drugs at the time too, and he couldn't get an autograph from Liz Hurley. But he said Bruce Campbell, when Bruce Campbell showed up on set, he was a class act, and the whole crew loved him. But
that's understandable. But this, where I was, this was a proper autograph signing.
Oh,
it wasn't
eventually
meeting on the street.
Wow.
Anyone actually flown in a helicopter before?
No. You?
Yes. You'd never hear this music. It's loud as hell. That's why you wear the headset.
I love the use of Long Tall Sally in this as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then they reference it later, don't they? I'm surprised this hasn't been cut on Disney or whatever it is.
It's funny because I'm currently watching this on Hulu, so I'll let you. I didn't notice it, but I'll keep an eye out to see if they cut anything out.
Especially the slack-jawed faggot line.
Oh yeah.
Since it's on Stars, they let everything stay. They just put a big warning on Disney. So like Stars is part of Disney's, but it's completely separate. That's like their 20th Century Fox library, so it stays away from the rest of the Disney stuff. So but what were we watching? What was the last one we watched? Commando. It kept everything in it.
Okay,
and,
that's good.
And Predator 2 keep everything, all the nudity, all the guts and gore and everything. So, and they have some pretty awful horror movies on there as well. So nothing's edited.
Yeah, in fact, I'm watching this on Hulu now, and it's kept in. I was gonna slip in my old DVD of it, and I loaned my DVD of Predator 2 to my brother, and I realized I feel embarrassed. I never do this, but apparently I put the main disc for Predator 1 in the Predator 2 case, and the bonus disc I completely mixed up the discs. I never do this, but I guess it's the first time. So I realized, I'm borrowing my sister's Hulu account to watch this. So
I've just noticed this. I hadn't noticed this before. Do you reckon there was a cut scene later where that lighter was referenced again? Because he's got a Zippo in his hand.
oh,
As if like that's some exposition, like you're going to see that again later, but you don't.
Doesn't Mac take it? Does Mac take the lighter and put it in his poncho after he dies? Or is that the...
Oh,
That's
he
a head
might.
flask, I think. That was Dylan that just had the lighter.
Nice.
When I first saw this, I think I was about 12. And it was the best age to see it. It was like the A-Team on speed.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I saw films like Total Recall and Die Hard and Predator and
This is
all
one of the
that,
first ones
all
I
around
saw.
that same age, that 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, I think I was 13 when I saw Total Recall. I think I was little. Yeah, I used to. And they had a lot of these on Showtime. We got Showtime, and I would watch this. I would watch RoboCop. Was a big favorite of mine. Just these nasty 80s action movies, which we don't see really these days. I think the last one I saw that reminded me of one was the Dread movie that came out years back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. My animation class, grade 10. So I was 15, and my animation teacher, he was so blown away by Terminator 2 that he brought it in and showed us.
Cool.
Bunch of 15-year-old kids, but he's literally teaching us. He's like, "Hey, look at the animation, but hey, this scene's awesome." He's like the whole different thing. And so I get to see Terminator 2, like one of the very first like hard R-rated movies I had ever seen, like in my grade 10 animation class. It was magical. But he was also in charge of like the cinema club as well with another teacher, and they, lunchtime show a whole bunch of classic films, and it didn't matter what the content was or whatever. I mean, you would never get away with it today.
Did they show the whole movie or just parts of it?
Terminator 2, we watched the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
it
there's
was like come after
Terminator.
school, and we'll sit and we're gonna have movie time. We're gonna watch Terminator 2, and we're gonna talk about the animation, but we're also gonna just watch how awesome this movie is, and it inspired so many students to do their own kind of Terminator 2 animation. Right after that series, we saw a bunch of T2 animations afterwards. It was really wild.
Yeah, if we ever got to watch a movie in class, it would usually be an edited version. Like there was actually a version of Glory that was made for public schools with,
Oh, really?
I guess, certain stuff cut out. I guess to limit some of the more violent scenes.
I was in grade 11, and we saw now I forgot it. Not Life Brian. The
Meaning of Life?
The Meaning of Life.
Yeah,
Just
Monty
think about
Python,
some of the scenes in that movie.
What,
that
the
we
After
got to
Dinner
see.
Men?
The After Dinner Men, but the whole being chased down. Was it the priest being chased down by all the naked ladies?
I think so. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, what is going on? I love all this suspense music that Sylvester writes here.
Now he used what was it called? The
Sinclair, yeah.
Yeah.
He used that for his percussion, and some of these that weird tom-tom sound that you just heard. But
It's very similar to certain parts of Back to the Future, isn't it?
oh yeah. He's using the same sort of scale,
Octatonic.
octatonic scale.
The tone with
Kind
the synth tone.
Yeah, kind of an otherworldly sound. But he's kind of saving these sequences with this score here.
Yeah, the movie's about 2/3 score.
Yeah, and it gets a great mix too.
Score and total running time is 107 minutes. That leaves 31 minutes with no music.
And a lot of it's also tracked as well. McTiernan did the same thing with Die Hard, and he pretty much picks apart Silvestri's score for this film as well. So a lot of the cues aren't in the place where they're supposed to be. But it works just fine. I mean, you can't really tell.
This is a perfect fit, isn't it?
Oh, it's so. I mean, it's so odd. I have never heard this type of music, like in a film of this sort, ever. It's somewhat playful. It's somewhat suspenseful, dramatic, mysterious. It's wonderful, and the odd meters. I love all the weird odd meter changes. It just keeps you kind of on edge. I don't know how he thought of it. I really don't know how he thought of all these rhythms. But then again, he's also a drummer himself, so this is kind of up his alley to write something more percussive. But still, the orchestral music is sensational as well. And I love how also there's leitmotifs that will pop up later on in the film. Like there's a great motif for the predator itself. It's like this mystery theme that has these repeated flute figures, which harkens back to Jerry Goldsmith's Alien. Love that device. But was it the jungle? Not the jungle chase. There's this upbeat jungle cue that it seems out of place, but it's like an action cue for guys walking through the jungle. It's amazing.
Well, if you don't have it, it's just boring as anything. This guy's walking around.
Mm-hmm.
This movie just ticks so many boxes, doesn't it? It's like, excellent sci-fi, excellent war/military movie, action. It's got everything.
I think the biggest winner is the pacing. It is deliberately slow. Again, this scene, just the reveal of the guys in the chopper. I mean, you could have done this 10 minutes ago, and films of these days would have done it 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
How does this film only have 45% on Metacritic?
What?
What's it got?
From who? Critics?
From the Metacritic. It's got 7.8 on IMDb, 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, 92% of Google users, so at least Google's smart, but 45 on Metacritic.
Is that critics or audience, though?
Why? It's because most of the people that are putting those scores on are used to seeing the bodies 10 minutes ago.
Right. Right.
Yeah, maybe.
But also there's a lot of reviews that I read and they just don't get it. They really do think it's just a typical macho man gung-ho movie, which it's not. It's a satire on it, honestly.
I think go ahead. Sorry.
No. Please go.
Like I said, I think too often people compare this movie to Aliens, and I know that they quote unquote take place in the same universe, or maybe they don't, depending on who you're going with. Instead of just judging the movie on its own merits, and it's nothing like Alien or Aliens.
Correct.
It's a completely different kind of monster they're going up against in this.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, everyone's got a different outlet. You know, you could send 10 people into the same movie and give them all a different briefing beforehand, and they'd all come out with different ideas. You know,
I mean,
the original trailer for this wasn't great. I don't think.
No.
Right.
Because you didn't actually see the creature in it.
Yeah, that makes it a tough sell. It does. But I mean, I guess then you could sell it as that kind of typical 80s gung-ho macho man movie. But with a bit of that mystery, it's like, oh wait, hold on, this can be different. And you show it like at the end. But I think that could be the big sell as well. I mean, Schwarzenegger's a star by now.
The trailer was like Commando Part 2 almost, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What had come out prior to this? He'd done Conan, right? So, of course, he was known for Conan. Terminator, I know it had been out. And he probably did Commando before this, too, right? So,
yes.
Yeah.
Don't forget Raw Deal.
You know, keep joking about Raw Deal. We'll get to it one day. All right.
I sure will.
It's not terrible.
But even at this part right here, like when they finally went to the infrared, I still don't think it's the alien. Again, having seen this the first time without seeing the alien ship dropping the alien to Earth, I'm thinking that just those are typical bad guys, hiding up in the trees, and they're going to ambush them.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you see the body scan, you're like, there must be some real sick people that did that to those men, That's what you're thinking. You're not thinking it's...
And it was Peter Cullen that came up with that kind of gurgle sound for the Predator.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I love this score. I love how over the top of it is. It's so great.
Did y'all see they're re-releasing Star Trek 3 from Entrada?
Yep. It's the exact same presentation and mix, so
that's fine because I don't have it now. I will.
That's great. I hope it stays in print forever.
Is that the one with the 2 discs?
I
think I have that one. That has the theatrical, the original score that was released on CD on I guess on vinyl back in the day, and then the actual movie score. It's a good score.
Yeah, it is. Great present. I like both presentations, honestly. The expanded really fleshes it out, but I've always loved that original LP presentation.
Gotcha. Yeah, the Klingon theme is different. It's a bit different. Yeah.
Did you guys see the trailer for the new Predator film?
Yes, the one that dropped, was it yesterday or day before?
Yeah, I watched it right before the stream.
I'm convinced. I don't know this, but I've got a pretty good idea and possibly some inside info.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it's going to tie in with the end scene of Predator 2 where he tosses him the musket.
That makes sense.
That was always a promise. I kept thinking it was going to be like a pirate ship, like we were going to have a Predator on the high seas in pirate days. But I guess now they're going with American West and Indian tribes and whatnot. I often said though, if they did one in the past, I don't want the Predator's technology to be as advanced as what we see here. It should still be way more advanced than what they have in the 1800s. But I still want it to be not. Like, I don't want the camo to be as sharp, the thermoptic camo it has.
It depends how their time works. Time for them might not be the same as for us.
True, but
I forget that fella's name, but he's in loads of Arnold movies, isn't he?
I think so. Is he
one of his mates?
Yeah. Was he one of the villains in Conan?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was also the guy in The Running Man at the end.
Yeah. Oh, the security guard. Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
So it's the new Predator. Is it going to be a TV show or is it going to be just like a 2-hour movie?
I think it's a film.
It's just a Hulu movie.
Yeah.
But it's not getting a theatrical release?
No. It seems to me like they're just sort of testing the waters for it.
They're supposed to be doing an Aliens movie that's going to just be on Hulu, or maybe it's an Alien movie. Because I know
Aliens, they're doing a series, I believe.
They're doing that, and they're doing a movie. That's what I heard. Yeah,
okay.
The movie's being done by the guy that did the Evil Dead remake.
That's okay.
Yeah. So no, I like I liked the Evil Dead remake, but I
loved it.
Yeah.
That's the guy, Big Al, Sven Thorson.
He was in Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future.
Oh God, I remember that. That's I love that.
That show. Oh my Lord.
Loved it.
Is it out on DVD now?
Oh, I don't know. That was a Sunday afternoon television show I'd watch. Great score too.
Do you have any of the toys?
No, I didn't. I never got the interactive laser guns and things of that sort. So
I got them all at Walmart on mega clearance.
Did you?
Drove my sister insane.
Oh my goodness.
And Retro mentioned this is like A-Team on steroids. Didn't they use the A-Team second unit to do this entire scene?
Did they?
I think I read that somewhere.
Well, it looks like the opening to A-Team, so great.
It took like 2 weeks to film.
It's a great
Which
sequence.
doesn't seem like that long because this is kind of complicated.
What would make an entertaining stream would be a Predator drinking game. Take a shot for every bullet fired.
I was on a stream for Goodfellas recently, and then one of my co-hosts was like, "Take a shot whenever someone uses the F word." It's like...
Big Al says he's got the soundtrack for Captain Power autographed by the composer.
That's impressive.
I think even John Debney conducted the orchestra, if I'm not mistaken. I love how the score just dies the moment this explosion hits.
Yep.
There's nothing until it's over. So awesome.
You got all these awesome gunshots and grenades.
Yeah.
They must have
On
used half
fire.
the budget on the bullets.
Yeah.
Someone must have counted how many gunshots there are in this movie. Let's Google it.
I'm trying to remember if this movie introduced me to the bazooka. You know, when I saw it, it's like...
It introduced
It was
me
the
to this
first
thing
appearance of that gun,
Jesse
wasn't it? The
Ventura's
minigun.
got. Yeah, this minigun.
I would not want to carry one of those through the jungle ever, ever, ever.
Well, it's a helicopter mounted gun or vehicle mounted gun, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what
Fires just that
supposed
gun
to do.
on its own fires between 2,000 to 6,000 rounds a minute. So even if they did all that in one take, you're probably talking 3,000 rounds just on that gun alone.
And how hot that would get, right?
Yeah. Oh.
That thing would be on fire. Well, yeah. In this case, I don't think music could have done anything to help this sequence.
It would have just been drowned out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There's no point. I remember my parents used to get pissed off at me. I used to, every time this come on, I just used to crank the volume up.
You know, it reminds me of like the bar fight from Raiders, right? Williams's music ramps that all up, and then it just goes away, and there's really cool sound effects, great gunfight, no score.
Adds to the realism a bit more as well, doesn't it? Without any music.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's just the first time a minigun's been fired in a film. That's interesting.
Probably. I don't remember seeing it anywhere else.
What, like the gat?
There's not many that's been in, is there?
Yeah.
I only had it again in T2.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Schwarzenegger got jealous. He's like, I want to fire this thing.
That might have happened.
Yeah.
There's not many people that could have fired it either. The kick on that.
Oh,
Throw you through the
thing.
wall.
What a beast.
Oh, here it comes. Oh, stick it right.
you remember Jesse Ventura in the Running Man? Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? Remember that? It's just
Knock, knock.
It's a shame Jesse Ventura didn't do more movies.
yeah.
I think we said when we watched Commando, he would have been excellent in that, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
One of the henchmen.
Mm-hmm.
Because after Running Man, he only did a few other sort of almost cameo pieces, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what else he was in after that.
He did a TV movie with Roddy Piper.
Oh, interesting.
He did become governor of Minnesota.
That's right.
Yes,
Yeah,
he had
wasn't until later in the 90s, was it?
Yeah.
yeah, he had
Arnold?
a cameo in an episode of the X-Files, but that was it. That's
He
all.
played a man in black.
He was in one of the goons in Demolition Man, wasn't he?
Oh, was he?
With
I don't
Stallone, yeah.
remember. I don't remember.
You know, the character Nigel Hawthorne played, he He was the guy that shot him. Because
Oh,
Wesley
okay.
Snipes couldn't because of his programming, but he got Jesse Ventura to do it.
Oh, the other guy. That's right. You ever tried chewing tobacco, Birdman?
No.
All right. You ever tried Big League Chew?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They still make that?
Yeah, they do.
I don't. Oh, they
They
do?
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
They still make
My
candy?
son had a bag of it last month for some reason. Where did he get it from?
I
don't know. He had one, and yeah, I used to chew that playing baseball when everybody else was chewing tobacco. That stuff is nasty, absolutely nasty.
My great grandmother did snuff.
Ugh.
Really?
Well, I said my great grandmother. So when everyone was doing snuff back in those days.
Hey, well, hey.
I've had a bit of snuff before. Never had chewing tobacco though. We never really had it over here.
Oh. Oof. Rambo came before this, right? The second First Blood movie. First Blood.
Yeah,
Part
second
two.
was 2 years before, and the
Yeah.
third was a year after. Yeah, I think Schwarzenegger's knife in this was a direct response to Rambo's knife in number 2. Because they was always trying to outdo each other.
Yeah.
Huh.
I thought she was really good in this.
Yeah.
She did originally have a scene in 2, but it got cut.
I have to rewatch
in the truck with Gary Busey. You can see her on one of the screens briefly.
Oh, really?
Huh.
I think they filmed like interview footage with her that they were going to look at in the truck.
Oh.
It got cut.
That would make sense, though. They probably would have interviewed her and kept the file on. I thought that was funny. In Predator 2, the U.S. government wanted to capture the Predator to study him. That was a thing.
Yeah, that's where it gets closer to Alien, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, think of all the technology you get from it.
Mm.
I heard Arnold was going to be in Predator 2, but he wanted like $500,000 more or something, and they're just like, nah.
Yeah.
No,
like,
that's not true. He had a choice, Predator 2 or Terminator 2, and he went with T2.
Oh, interesting.
Well, he probably made the better choice, too.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Oof.
I think both were shot at the same time, but T2 obviously had more effects, so it took a bit longer to come out. We should have had more of these jokes.
Mm-hmm.
One is actually funny, the other is just daft.
I know.
Did anyone like the 2018 Predator movie?
Nope.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I didn't see
It was
that.
okay. Not on par with any with the first two. I don't think anything has been.
No. I mean,
it's better than the AVP movies.
Like Predators was okay.
Yeah,
it was interesting because I
Yeah.
like the idea that he was taking actual like bad. They were bad people from Earth and putting like
Right.
a hunting game area, which I thought was
Yeah.
interesting, like mercenaries and serial killers and other things. Yeah, but
Agreed.
no one's
But-
been able to do the suits since Stan
No.
Winston stopped doing the suits.
yeah,
They all the heads look massive, don't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Should I even bring up Alien versus Predator? Or do we not want to
No.
speak of
I
that?
enjoyed watching that on a Saturday afternoon.
That had promise, but I think that fell foul to the PG. It's
13, PG
widen
13.
everything to everybody.
Correct.
Yeah.
Period.
And I mean, and the second one is just the most mean-spirited thing I've ever seen. It's just so there's nothing fun about it.
Yeah.
And you can barely see anything. Everything's at night. I hate that second one.
Really?
It just is.
I love it.
Really? I can't do it.
I've been meaning to see it because a friend at work is always telling me, like, she's obsessed with the Alien franchise, but she can't stand Alien versus Predator 2, but she still watches it if she sees it on as the Alien. It's
Oh, you meant AVP 2, not Predator 2?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
AVP.
Predator 2 is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh, I
AVP.
was gonna say.
Requiem. I cannot. It's wretched. But Predator 2, I think, is fantastic.
even the stuff
Absolutely
that
fantastic.
even the stuff that doesn't involve the Predator and Predator 2 is interesting. The gang war and everything. I thought
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
interesting.
agreed.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's the urban jungle as opposed
Oh,
to the
yeah.
jungle. That's what that
And I
was.
love the opening of it, right? It's that helicopter shot over all the kind of like the jungle and the brush.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you just see you see LA and all that concrete, and it's just boom right into an action sequence.
It's like near future too, so it's like a
Yeah.
few years from now.
It was
so it has,
1997.
yeah.
But the funny thing is, in '97, they actually had some huge gang shootout in LA that time, which I thought was quite interesting. So kind of, it matched.
Someone here has Predator 2 on LP.
Really?
It's
Put
not
that
me.
in the background just to wind you up. I've got that on LP, CD, and cassette.
Wow.
Cool.
Although it's good, it's not as good as the first.
So the actress's name is Elpidia Carrillo. Right?
I've only seen her in one other thing. I think I was Down and Out in Beverly Hills.
Oh, okay.
She was like the maid to Bette Midler and what's his name? Oh, I've drawn a blank.
I don't think I've ever seen Down and Out in Beverly Hills. I know it was famous for being the first R-rated movie that Disney technically produced back in. So it was under Touchstone. I think,
through
right?
Touchstone, yeah.
Daniel, do you have a time code? My movie just paused for some reason.
3643,
3642.
47, 48.
Yep. Okay, good. I'm in. Thanks. I don't know what happened there.
So we got Bill Duke.
Yeah.
There was Commando.
Most recent thing I saw him in was Mandy with Nick Cage. He has a cameo in that, which is interesting.
Now that guy, that's Richard Chavez. He was in War of the Worlds. I don't know if y'all remember that show from the late 80s.
I never watched it, but I knew of it.
He pretty much got out of acting because he had a stalker from hell,
Really?
and he became a mega case after that, which is sad.
That can happen to actors. I know that the actor who was on Robin of Sherwood, the first Robin Hood, he had some women stalking him, which made him really uncomfortable. So he ended up leaving the show because of that.
What was that War of the Worlds movie? That was an American movie, was it?
It
was a TV show, War of the Worlds TV show. I remember at the time. I'd probably be more likely to watch it now because I'm a big fan of War of the Worlds since I read the novel. But yeah,
I've never seen that. I live down the road from Woking, Walsall Common.
Huh. Oh wow, really? Cool.
Yeah, and we've got there's like a massive monument outside the shopping centre with one of the Triffids.
Huh.
Cool.
So this is the War of the Worlds LP musical with Richard Burton doing the narration. Hearing him say "Horsel Common" was interesting.
If they want to revisit everything, Blaine and Mac prequel would be good.
I'd watch that. Yeah.
There's just two shots here, like within about 2 minutes of each other. It's just Schwarzenegger on the gun show. You know, the one where he holds up his arm, right, tells everybody to stop. He's just huge flex, but then he's like, "Yeah, watch this. I can continue to flex with my hand out," and his muscles don't even move. And of course, now he's holding his monster gun, and he's just absolutely ripped.
He had to tone down for this his legs because he couldn't run because they were so big.
Huh.
Again, I just love how deliberately slow this is.
Yeah.
It just ramps up the suspense.
Suspense, isn't it? That's the trouble with modern movies. It's like the YouTube generation, isn't it? Everybody's got such short attention spans.
It's gonna be the TikTok generation soon, right? It's like every
yeah, swipe. As Gigawatt 121 said, he tricked Ventura into bet whose arms were bigger. I've read that story.
This is such a great cue. I love it.
What do they call the Predator's camo in this? Do they have a name for it? Because I keep calling it thermoptic camo from the Japanese anime movie Ghost in the Shell. But I think the premise is the camouflage has cameras on the outside that reflect back what it's seeing, or something like that. I don't know if that's how the Predators outfit work, but I know that they've had, in theory, prototypes of that sort of thing.
I definitely hear like parts of Back to the Future in this.
Oh yeah, I mean, Sylvester's whole career kind of that dumb, dun dum, dun dum, dun dum, dun dum. It's in everything.
Maybe we should.
It's like it's
maybe that's a future video idea. Do like a Pepsi challenge. Is it Predator, Back to the Future, or the Abyss?
Think about when you're first seeing it, though. Do you know what it is? Is it a ghost? Is it a man? I mean, what's doing all this, right? It's
yeah.
They gave a little hint when they showed the hand picking up the scorpion, didn't they?
Right.
But yeah, if you had no idea, you literally had no idea. I've always thought this shot where you should have actually seen something. It's just like a load of bloody rags on the floor. They should have actually shown you what he saw.
Yeah.
Are those intestines?
You can't really make out what it is, can you?
Because he's taking the bodies back, right, to his little lair.
There's some great focus pulls on this as well.
Yep.
So did he just use his like Wolverine claws when he killed Hawkins?
Could have.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I don't think it was a laser blast.
All of his other weapons make noise, don't they? Like the guns and stuff. So. That shot there is just one of the classic 80s Schwarzenegger shots.
Yep.
Did they make Predator
They use that
toys?
one in the end credits, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't know if they
They
made
do
Predator toys. They might have.
Like back when the movie was out. See, the trouble was you have all these R-rated movies, and all the boys are watching these things, even though they're not supposed to be. But no one thought to make toys because
Well, there were Rambo toys.
Yeah,
They
well,
made
there was a Rambo
RoboCop.
cartoon.
The
They
RoboCop
had,
toys.
there were some toys in the 90s, Aliens versus Predator.
That's true.
In the
Those
comics.
came out later. Yeah, I remember that.
However, I think the toys for Rambo and RoboCop probably were in conjunction more with the animated series that came out that were like Saturday morning cartoons. Like,
Can you
imagine that.
You mentioned a Predator cartoon, huh?
I mean, that would have been awesome.
A showgirl would be awesome as well.
I'm not going there.
You can get Showgirls toys. You have to blow them up first, though.
That's such a great shot.
Oh.
I couldn't imagine rigging this thing up in the jungle to get this shot.
Oh, here we go. I think I know what's coming. Oh.
He unloads on a badger.
I remember when seeing this, I'm like, how are they going to stop this thing after I see what's coming up now? You know, it's
Yep.
Because he's armed to the nines and it's not no good, you know?
Mm.
Oh.
So good.
They use KY jelly and glow sticks for predator blood.
Is that what it was?
Really? Ah.
I wonder how many of these shots were actually the same angle, the same action with a different angle.
I wonder.
Because the bullets on that MIDI gun can't be cheap. The caliber of those.
Just go for the grenades.
When they're done, there should be like a low deer, like looking at them and running off or something.
That would have been awesome.
Probably
What I should have had is the cleaner from Ghostbusters who comes out at the end and just goes, "What the hell are you doing?"
What'd you see? I saw this an invisible man. You know, it's like...
That's one way to clear a forest.
Yeah, I'm just.
Arnold's gardening tips. It's gone from commando like Deadhead in the Roses to like tree surgery. I know that's the shot that was used in the end credits.
H&S Collectibles. Are you referring to the "If It Bleeds, We Can Kill It" song on YouTube? Surely I'm not the only person that's listened to it. Back me up, someone.
I
It's the
back
musical,
you up.
right? Predator the musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. John and Al Kaplan are. You got to follow their YouTube channel. They wrote and directed Zombievers.
Oh.
But they got their channel, they do like Silence of the Lambs the musical, Commando the musical, but they also do like reviews of soundtracks but within the characters from the film. So the Predator one is reviewed by Arnold Schwarzenegger, Die Hard's by Hans Gruber. It's actually really funny. It's good stuff.
Oh, there's a RoboCop one as well. Cool.
Could be.
I haven't listened to that one. I'll look it up before I go to bed.
I was thinking this movie's kind of like the Blair Witch Project, but totally different. You know, they're lost in the woods and so just.
When I was a kid, I would try to set booby traps in the woods, and it never really worked out.
You like dug a hole and put some leaves over it, that sort of thing. Like
I took like a rope and just like stretched it across 2 trees, and like the rope was just there, like you could see it from a mile away.
Huh.
I'm gonna make a comment about Predator 2 now. I like the taps theme type thing they got going here. I don't care for it in Predator 2.
No, it's almost like a cameo. In Predator 2, isn't it?
I think they could have done something different because Danny, was he Puerto Rican? I guess. I mean, he was played by Ruben Blades. Is he Puerto Rican?
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe like a steel guitar or something more fitting for the character. This is fine for a military guy, but for
right.
I didn't think it fit the Ruben Blades character.
This bit of music is just amazing. Like you say, it's like such a sad piece of music, but it's got like military tones in it, and it's just love it. I always thought that floss was going to fall into like the hole in his chest.
Oh.
This is the first time you actually see.
Yeah. He's injured. I think it helps that we don't have a ton of lore about the Predator culture in this. I don't know if that would help. I don't know how much I want to know about this alien race. We know that they're hunters, right? So that's
Yeah, that's essentially it. It's more
he's
than
on
enough.
safari. He's on safari.
Yeah.
You know, this is. And what's the most? You know, you don't want to shoot some random villagers. You want to go after the top. You want to go after commandos. You know, those are the real trophies, right?
It's done really well, isn't it? Because you don't see enough. Everything's really, really brief shots just to give you an idea, but
yeah,
you get long enough to actually look at it.
It's that Jaws effect, right?
Mm.
Only show them like in full for the last half an hour of the movie.
So what was the original idea? Was they going to take the helmet off and it was going to be Van Damme underneath with green paint on his face or something? Or
no, it was a totally different character.
Yeah.
It was like
amphibious,
a
wasn't
prawn on top of a human.
Oh, yeah.
It was just ridiculous. Back home, all the other predators are in suits at work on safari.
It's funny.
The budget was between 15 and 18 million on this.
Wow.
I saw two results for the box office. I saw 50-something million, and then I saw 98.3. But it's ranked
It was a massive hit on video as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's ranked the top 10 film of the year.
Do you think on the Predator homeworld they like have restaurants where they cook like miniature humans and serve them with drawn butter and stuff? I don't know.
All sorts of cultures, right? It's one's Earth Night, next is Ceylon 4 Night.
Instead of I'm just going down to get a Chinese takeaway, he's like going to go and get an Earth takeaway.
Yeah.
There's got to be some boring elements to it.
Yeah. He knows it's not a man they're dealing with. It's like
He needs some positivity training.
No, I think you got to be realistic.
We're all gonna die. It's like Eeyore in the Winnie the Pooh movie. He has a similar line where they're in that pit. It's like, we're all gonna die.
Yes.
Did you know that actor that played him started out in adult entertainment movies?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Who?
Would have played
Guy that played Billy? Sonny
Landham.
Landham, yeah.
I know he was an absolute nutter. They said that he had to have security guards with him, which weren't to protect him. They were to protect everyone else. He wasn't in many other movies, was he? He was in 48 Hours before this. He didn't do much else.
He ran for, I think, governor, and then I think Senate or Congress, but I don't think he ever won anything.
I remember seeing him a couple of years before he died. He lost his legs, didn't he, due to ill health and that.
Yeah, I think it was a car accident.
Was it? I thought it was something to do with like diabetes or something.
I mean, I can do it too. Oh, he was in that one with Stallone. Okay. I don't think I ever saw Lockout.
I remember this part in the movie.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
of course. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I remember now.
That's pretty impressive to take down a boar with a knife. I'm
impressed. Yeah, that's.
That's the only boring part of this film.
Excuse me, guys.
Oh, it's just us.
We've lost the Birdman.
Maybe you had to take a phone call. Is that what was going on there?
Yeah.
All right. So was this whole thing shot on location? No studio lots or anything? Or
I think there's a couple of either rear projection scenes, and I want to say that one shot at night was kind of looked like it was a bit of green screen or rear projection, but most of, if not all of this, is on location. Like they are in the jungle.
They all got food poisoning as well, didn't they?
oh,
Because you can actually go and visit the set of this in Mexico.
Oh, can you really?
Yeah, there's a friend of mine went there. We go to the waterfall and everything like that. It's all
No
in
way.
the same vicinity. What's going on in the chat?
let's see.
Cody from H&S Collectibles talking about Lock Up. Yeah, I agree. I love that film.
Yeah, it took me a while to see that one, but when I did, I was impressed. Yeah.
Donald Sutherland is great in that.
It's funny because my dad was a police officer in New Jersey. He could have gotten assigned. I think they were assigning cops there to like I think at the prison location. He could have gone if he'd wanted to, but he didn't. But it's too bad. That would have been neat.
The mark of a great actor is you can play the nicest guy on earth and the most evil bastard going.
Yeah.
Great montage music. He said the line. He sure did.
It's great they stuck with a like traditional score for this because this could have gone down the Rocky IV route and been like pumping 80s music.
Oh, you're right. I what I like is that they took the material seriously, right? You could still have fun with it, but it's the suspense feels real. The
Not that
terror
there's
in their
anything wrong
eye.
with Rocky IV.
No, but I mean that comes out more kind of camp, rah Americana. You know, we're gonna beat the Russians, but this is just they're playing it deadly serious, and that what I appreciate that.
This is again, this is like the A-Team, isn't it? Making all the all of the traps, like we're gonna fire potatoes at him or something.
Time code. I'm at an hour, 3 minutes, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, that's where I'm
Same
at.
here,
Yeah.
Bang on.
Take care, collectibles. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, cheers, Cody.
Uh,
The look. And here's that that repeated flute figure. You know, the legend of the Predator. It's right out of Alien and Aliens.
I haven't got any sound on at all, but I can still hear it.
Okay.
Just looking at the picture.
Now, in Predator 2, we get the little nod to Alien that one of the trophies is a xenomorph, right? Now, was that just like a goof the director put in there, or is that? But I guess everybody took that as it's canon.
I think the comics come out before that, didn't it?
Maybe it did. Yeah, I heard the comics were actually very good. I never read them, but I heard that they were.
I think the comics were good. The game was great. Alien versus Predator was amazing.
Yeah, was that the PC game?
Yeah, I could not play that in the dark alone.
But
speech would have been helpful earlier, lady.
She's not been very forthcoming throughout this.
Then again, she has no idea who these guys are and how long she's going to live, right? Everyone looks like a scared dog.
It's such a tense moment, and it's
yeah.
Brilliant. Especially when he like looks away and he's like, "There's nothing there," and then bang. And that shot there was on the poster, wasn't it?
It was on the CD.
Yes, and on the I remember the old VHS cover.
That's it. Yeah,
we had the VHS cover. I remember we had it on VHS. We had all the Arnold movies on VHS. I remember we get the actual copies of them.
So good. What a shot.
we should do that in the playground. Just throw a shitload of leaves up in the air.
Oh, man. Everything hurts. Every impact.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the score, but the sound effects, they all do.
Everything is just great, isn't it? Everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing that sticks out as being bad, or everything's on level pegging with everything else.
Oh, I didn't realize you say get to the chopper twice in this. I can make it. I don't know his name, but he's really good in this movie. Oh my God. Okay, so Hammond Animation Studios just jumped into the chat. This is my boss.
Oh, wow.
And, about I want to say 4 weeks ago, he had mentioned that he saw Predator for the very first time, and he absolutely hated it, and he still hasn't finished it.
Oh, really?
He also hates Commando. I think it was Commando even more.
What?
Yeah. We had a whole argument about it, but I made sure that I was kind, so I didn't get fired.
Is it an age thing or is it a violence level in the
No,
movie?
he's actually a few years younger than I am, but
Okay.
I'm really not 100% sure what his movie preferences are. That's actually kind of it. That's right. He falls asleep to these movies all the time as well. But then again,
okay.
he has young children. He has a 2-year-old, and
That's
so
fine.
He prefers twins to Predator.
we did a coverage of the accidental tourist on the channel a couple months ago. There you go. That's
yeah.
What was his reasoning for not liking it? Was because all the gunshots woke the kids up? Or?
No, I think it was just he's kind of bored with it. It just all the shooting and it just didn't mean anything. And I mean, I guess that's fair. I mean, he's watching it for the first time now. And so I think that, again, us as impressionable, 11, 12, 13-year-olds who just are seeing these things for the very first time and been so used to PG and PG-13 movies. When you see Die Hard and Predator and all these R-rated movies like Total Recall, you're like, the world's just opened up, and it's like, but it's also at a time when, special effects are really kicking ass. And these are, great examples of just, again, it's Stan Winston, and you're talking about Terminator, Predator, Aliens. You've never seen anything like this on screen before. So that's why it just kind of sticks with you, especially at that young age.
Yeah, there was a magic to special effects back then. Because you didn't quite know how they did these things. Maybe you could watch it behind the scenes later. Now, there's a lot of computer involvement, and I'm not trying to knock. I know there's a lot of hard work that goes in that too, but it's not the same as, like you're saying, how do they pull that off with the practical effects? And
right. Yeah, I prefer like a real car chase with real stunts, real cars getting.
I was going to say it's exactly the same with stunts.
Yeah,
the latest movie come out, and there was some major set piece stunt there, and you're like, how the hell did they do that?
That's why Top Gun Maverick worked so well, right? That's real. Those guys are in those planes.
Yeah.
And even though there are CGI components to it, there has to be some of the shots. It's just impossible to do. But the way they integrated that, but most of it shot practically, and I have a better respect for that sort of stuff than I do for anything CGI. Again, nothing wrong with CGI. CGI can enhance a film. It can do a lot in film, and sometimes you don't even notice it's there. But when the physics don't work, or like you tell in the Shane Black's Predator movie back in 2018, you got a CGI Predator. It just doesn't work. Where you got a real guy who's 7'2" in this film, kicking the shit out of Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's the biggest badass in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what impresses me is the art behind practical effects.
Yeah.
And again, I also like everything else, like the story, the pacing, I really enjoy the acting, the music, everything. I think we said it before, it just all blends perfectly into this kind of perfect genre picture.
Another thing too, there is the whole science fiction aspect of this. And I think what people don't understand now is that back in those days, you watch regular TV, you didn't see like a lot of science fiction shows. You didn't see, it was all very straight-laced stuff. A lot of the movies coming out, they weren't stuff like this. So to see an action movie and then to see this alien from another planet showing up and kicking ass, it's like, you didn't see that as often as you would today, where like every other thing is a superhero movie or something like that. It was
it's an original concept.
Yeah.
Too,
this is right on the cusp of being horror as well, isn't it?
It is. It's the Predator's scary.
Genres.
Predator's a scary adversary. It's
the same. It's the fear of not what you see, but what you don't see.
Yeah,
right. Again, it's the Jaws theory. Or just much like Jurassic Park, where you don't see the dinosaurs, or at least the T-Rex, until the hour mark of that film, and it's special when you see it.
Yeah.
But again, what I think is great about this one, especially the scene right now, just look at Carl Weathers. He's such a badass in the first half an hour, right? Nothing scares him. They're all like gung-ho buddies, and he is just terrified right here. And this is fantastic acting right here.
He's the non-believer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, the glowing eye. I love that.
So good.
That's why it's in my thumbnail.
When I first saw this, it was in 4:3, the TV version, and you could quite clearly see his arm tucked down his back.
Oh, really? Huh. I'm wondering how this was shot. If it was shot like in that weird thing where you get the wide, but also the full, the special cameras they had where they could do both. I know a lot of time it was pan and scan, but I know sometimes they would try to do the.
Yeah, it was open matte. So what they would have done
yeah.
is they put the matte on for the 235, and then opened it up for the 4x3.
Gotcha.
So they could see extra stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's literally there was just a tiny bit extra on the bottom where you could see just the top of the bottom of his shirt, and then you could see his arm down.
Gotcha.
Like going down his bum.
I'm thinking he comes from a long line of like warrior men too. It's just look of him, and it's like this is.
That's a character I'd like to see expanded on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like the spirit, he's spiritual and like one of the old Indians, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, is he going to have his descendant in Prey? I hope not.
He could have had a wife and kids at home. We don't know, right? I mean,
there you go. Yeah, that's another link to Prey, possibly.
Right.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That would be interesting.
I'm not actually sure what year Prey's set in, whether it's
It's
long ago it is.
Civil War time, isn't it? Is it Civil War?
I don't know, because I saw some. I don't know if they were like, if it's like French and Indian War. I don't know if those were like.
It's got to be within the gun age, because
yeah,
there's some shots, isn't there, of guns and stuff.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh,
wicked.
Richard Chavez is such a great character, but I just love the way he's just picked off, just dead instantly, and that's it. There's no.
Yep.
Just shows how ruthless the Predator is.
get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
And then it's like, here's it seems like a second movie that's about to begin, right? Yes. Schwarzenegger versus the Predator. And like, how long do we have left? We got like half an hour to go.
Yeah, this was the scene he had difficulty doing. The running.
Right. Was this expensive to make this movie?
Yeah.
I mean, 15 to 18 million. That's not too horrible.
I figure a lot of it's in the woods, which makes sense for the story, obviously. But yeah, it's.
Yeah, this was a horrible shoot. They had leeches and other blood-sucking parasites. And heat.
They had a couple of days. It was similar to Raiders, where they had a couple of days out where they all had the shits.
We need Arnold grunting in this part, like his usual, like,
Yeah, don't we get that? Do we?
I don't know.
Near
Maybe I didn't have it up loud enough, but I
Speak out, this Prey is set in 1719.
Okay.
What's the date on the gun from Predator 2?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Anybody knows, put it in the chat.
Predator 2 gun.
That's 17 something, isn't it? 1715.
1715.
Interesting.
Oh, we're going to see it. It's going to be a full-on, push into the gun just before it fires. We'll have it.
I got this gun 4 years ago.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's the Thing. I see the Thing from that other movie.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome. Do you think you could drop a Predator with a musket loader?
Maybe a Predator from 1719 you could.
Wasn't Ridley Scott trying to decanonize the whole Predator as part of the Alien universe thing?
I think so, yeah.
But I don't even know if his stuff, I don't even know if the Prometheus Covenant stuff is canon anymore. I don't know what is anymore. I'm just...
I read online that water was stagnant and filled with leeches.
Ew.
So that scene out of Stand By Me.
It couldn't have been that stagnant if it's next to a waterfall. I think they should just Just keep Ridley Scott away from aliens and stuff now.
Yeah. I like
I'm
Fast
surprised he
Brothers.
didn't direct Top Gun Maverick, actually.
He was supposed to.
Well, I don't know if he was supposed to, but you would have thought it would have been.
Oh
good
yeah,
to-
yeah, you're right.
he
Yeah,
was
yeah, that
He
makes
was
sense.
busy. He was busy with House of Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
That's worth being busy with.
This is such a great shot. Look at this, right through the vines. I love the natural lighting too. It's not overdone. They use what they can.
I think in the chat we've got like a mix of questions. Someone's asked, "Has the lawsuit brought by the original writers been settled yet?"
I don't know.
The
anything
reply
about
is no, not unless they got shot in the eye.
Huh. If they're still doing stuff for, I guess, 20th Century Studios, it's owned by Disney now, right? Because they're having that Prey. Of course, I noticed the word Predator isn't in the movie Prey, right? It's just called Prey.
Right, it's just called Prey.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Who's the prey? The Indians or the predator?
Do we know who's scoring that?
No, I looked up that yesterday. I couldn't find anything. There's a massive long list of credits on IMDb, but nothing
the
about
director?
score.
The hint.
There's some credits on there for like music producer
Don. I've
or
never heard this guy
coordinator
before.
or whatever, but nothing about score.
Oh, okay. 10 Cloverfield Lane. I would love a Bear McCreary Predator score.
That would be nice.
I did enjoy 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, so did I.
Especially for the John Goodman performance in that. That was...
yeah, so
the
that's
musket, the comment about getting shot in the eye wasn't in reference to the lawsuit. It was in reference to your question of would a musket kill a predator?
Oh.
But does it kill the predator? That's the question.
Man, if we got Bear McCreary, oh my lord, that would be something else.
Can we just crowdfund that?
Please.
Just
Please.
Just do the Predator album. You don't have to call it Predator, but just make it Predator.
Well, he understands the importance of previous themes and the legacy of those films. I mean, if you listen to his Godzilla score, I mean, he brings back 3 major themes from the Godzilla series. So he understands.
Can I just rewind a minute?
Pardon me?
Eric, who are you talking about?
Bear McCreary?
Do you know what I thought you said?
No.
We'd love a Bear Grylls Predator movie.
No, sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint.
That would be awesome too. How to survive a predator.
How about a Gordon Ramsay versus the Predator movie, huh?
Oh my God.
Oh.
This is like a 9-minute cue on the album, isn't it?
I believe so.
Daniel, it's just it's battle plans or battle preparations or something like that.
For battle? Yeah.
Oh.
Just a slow build.
Preparations, yeah.
Dude.
Man, there's some nasty stuff in this.
Talking of preparations, I'm going to go and get some more beers and also make some room for them.
Loving all the crossfades. It's something you don't see in films too many times these days. You see a lot of them in corporate videos. That's if my boss is still around. Good old crossfade.
I think Chigawa is correct. To defeat Predator, you just need some Home Alone traps.
Oh my lord, yes.
Oh, that'd be funny. Predator mixed with Home Alone. That'd be funny.
Didn't someone do a trailer like that?
They might have. It rings a bell. Yeah, maybe somebody to do a spoof. Yeah. I'm still waiting for my Leprechaun versus Chucky movie, but it's been waiting a long time, right? But I like scenes in movies of people prepping weapons.
Yep.
And
we get
I don't know.
two of them in this film.
Yeah, and this needs to. I don't know if this is made. I'm trying to think of recent movies I've seen this happen in. It's, I guess, like smaller movies they show it in, like in the big Hollywood
see
stuff.
like montages.
Yeah.
Rarely. Oh, but this is just brilliant music, brilliant setup.
Could you imagine this with like a rock song?
Nowadays it would just be some stupid string ostinato and some. It would suck. There'd be no build up. There'd be no dynamics. I mean,
we said that when you.
But he is playing an ostinato here. It's like it's on the timpani, right? The dun 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 dun. But it.
And you got that right now, and it's going to build and build and build until he's screams.
We said about that when you was I think it was when you was gone, Birdman, saying about it could be like Rocky IV instead.
Yeah.
Like 1/3 montage.
No, the music style.
Okay.
So good. So primal. And one of my favorite shots is just that wide shot where you see them, the predator just blasting, laser blasts at him, and it just stays wide, for like 15 seconds while he's running around. And it's just these laser blasts from the trees. And I think it's even done in slow motion. Just let that shot stick in your mind. I mean, the atmosphere is incredible in this movie.
Is there any real basis in the mud? Does it stop heat getting through?
It should lower your body temperature for a while. That's what pigs do in the summertime. They waller in mud to cool down.
Also, I figure blending with the trees may be better. I don't know.
Because I always took it from the film that it wasn't just him lowering his temperature. It was the fact that because he was covered in mud that he couldn't see the heat.
That's right.
Interesting.
I love that shot of him leaping through the trees.
Yeah. And you're right. Here's just another great rack focus here. So good. It's just artistry in this movie. I mean, McTiernan, I always love the way he shoots his films.
Some of these shots of the actual camo predator are of the original prawn costume.
Is it really?
Mm. You can tell with some of the like the shape of the head there.
Mm.
Huh.
What was the last great Alan Silvestri score?
It's a good question. I don't particularly. I love this shot. That's it right there. Just
For
on
me,
the
it's
log.
the Abyss. I'm sure others would say Avengers and stuff like that. I just
I don't
don't
think
appreciate it the same way.
it's not the Avengers.
Captain America?
See, I'm not even a big fan of Captain America. I think it's okay, but I mean, as a score as a whole, I don't think it's.
None of
Man,
it
I
has
want to
the same
say maybe
impact
the
anymore,
Polar
does it?
Express. Maybe
I have that score.
that is a brilliant score. I'm looking at his credits right now. Oh no, sorry, Ready Player One. I think Ready Player One was dynamite, absolutely dynamite. But then after that, I would say, oh god, Beowulf is underrated, highly underrated, and then the Polar Express. Yeah, I mean, he had a great early 2000s. What Lies Beneath?
Ready Player One. I've seen the film and I really enjoyed the film, but I didn't really notice the score much
Yeah,
when
the
watching.
score's a lot of fun. Great new theme. It just feels like a throwback Alan Silvestri score.
Oh, great! I'll go and hunt that down.
Some really cool, like Back to the Future cameos. There's what was it they called, the Zemeckis Cube? I think that's what it was called, the time travel thing. And so he plays the Back to the Future theme underneath that. And I think Godzilla gets a kind of a cameo in it. But there's a great kind of I love the main theme to it. Love Ready Player One. And the Christmas carols kind of underrated as well. There's a great action cue in that, like a carriage chase or something like that. It's really amazing. But I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Avengers scores. I mean, there's some couple of great cues, but just never really did anything for me. I thought the Witches would be something special, but not really. So Pinocchio, again, another collaboration with Zemeckis. I'm hoping for something great.
Well, I guess it would be takes on the original Disney songs from the original movie, right?
It's possible, but I hear it's kind of like a reimagining of it. So who knows?
So more like the Cinderella one they did years back, maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, they'll probably bring cigars in. You know, like When You Wish Upon a Star most likely will be the main theme for it, or at least have a cameo. Right. And they might bring that back, the old songs. Who the heck knows? I'm not sure, but
I do like I've Got No Strings. I'm a big fan of that number in the original movie.
Would y'all like to see this live in concert?
Predator?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, God, it would be great to hear it as intended. Much like it would be great to hear James Horner's Aliens in concert as intended. But that would never happen.
You got me so hopeful, and then you just.
I know they have done Aliens in concert a few times. One I want to see
over here, the Royal Albert Hall.
Is that what it was?
Wow, did you go?
No, I was looking. They got a few more coming up. They got Superman and Return of the Jedi coming up. I was looking at the tickets the other day, and it's almost £100 a ticket.
Crazy.
Which to use probably nearer $200.
Yeah.
It's just
and an airplane ticket.
COVID hit just as I was going to go see Back to the Future in concert, but it was here in town, and we have a local symphony orchestra. They're really, really good, but the best thing about them is that their tickets are dirt cheap. I can go and sit like in the back row of the concert hall, and it's still a great seat for like $25. Whereas with the Toronto Symphony Orchestra, about an hour downtown or down the road, you're looking at, what was Empire? Empire was $250 for 2 tickets or something like that.
Wow.
Same thing with Raiders. I wish I had the original tickets. I know they're around here somewhere, but Yeah, it's absurd.
You know, Gigawatt, this is probably the stagnant leach field water right here.
Hear the grunts. At least I think so.
I like his bladed. I like his bladed weapons. They're different than what you'd find on Earth too. Everything's alien about them.
Is there a 4K restoration of Aliens?
Yes.
No.
At least I think there is. Isn't there?
No. It's one of the Cameron
Oh no.
ones that's on the back burner.
Yeah. So is
got
True
Alien.
Lies. Yeah, True Lies is another
okay.
one. He says he's not going to be touching these things until he finishes the Avatar sequels. That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah. We got T2, but that was a bodge job from the 3D version.
Hmm.
They basically mastered it in 4K to use for the 3D version, and then they released a 2D version of the 3D version in 4K. So imagine what they've done for the 3D, where they want all the edges completely sharp. They've just DNR'd the whole thing, so
Gross.
all the faces look like waxwork models.
Hate that stuff. This is such a great shot too.
When you were a kid and were you excited?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, we're gonna get to see the face finally.
Yeah. And then when I did, I'm like, yep, I was not disappointed.
Well, especially the first thing he does is that horrible scream, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's just awesome.
I like he says bad idea.
This is so well done as well, isn't it? If it had not landed in water, then that just shows like what an impact. If it had just landed on dry ground, would have had the same effect. And now we see that he can actually see him.
I mean, the music's not overly complicated here, but it does the job beautifully. It's just driving and point on point on point.
It's very minimalistic. It plays in that just repeated figures over and over again.
But you know, when you got a badass alien creature just bearing down on you, it's kind of all you need.
Yeah, it's almost
Again,
plays
sound
like a
effects
heartbeat.
heavy, isn't it? So
yeah. I mean, this whole last half hour, it's almost like the reverse of Conan the Barbarian, where Polydorus really had to tell the story with his music because there was hardly any dialogue. And that's what you get here. Silvestri just owns this last 30 minutes. And this is the type of score that should get like Academy Award consideration just for how much heavy lifting it does. And, you know, it would not get a sniff just because it's a genre film.
Mm.
They're supposed to be young, right? The ones that are on these hunts, like they're supposed to be like younger.
I believe so. It's like they're proving grounds.
Yeah. So somewhat immature.
Oh
man! It also sounds like they raided the like Ben Burt's sound effects library from Indiana Jones.
Huh.
Like when that log comes down, it sounds like the bullwhip, and the punch
Possibly.
sounds just sound like they're right out of Raiders and Temple of Doom.
Yeah, some of those sound effects they use are real old school studio.
Yeah.
So.
No mercy, Arnold. Come on. No mercy. Just bash the head. Come on.
No, he knows he's won.
Yep. Of course, I remember as a kid, what's he doing here?
Right.
Such like universal language, though. As soon as you hear that countdown, you just instantly know it's a bomb.
Yeah, I was like a little slow at the uptake. It's like, oh, what is that? Is that oh, it's a bomb. You know? And he's laughing. He's laughing. Oh, it's Billy's laugh. That's right.
Yep. That's great.
Mm. It doesn't actually make much sense, though, is it? Because he's not got his helmet on or anything, so he can't actually like playback sound. But he is.
All that hand animation back there.
That's a bit ropey, isn't it? And you actually get to see Kevin Peter Hall. He's one of the helicopter pilots.
That's right. It's like, I just died down there.
There he is.
There he is.
You know, he died from pneumonia, of all things.
Did he?
Yeah.
It was AIDS, though, wasn't it?
Was it? I remember reading pneumonia, and I thought, damn. Because I always
would have
joke
got that, but because of the fact he had AIDS, he couldn't fight it off, I think.
Okay.
I always joke I'm like 3 pneumonias away from dying, because every time I get it, it's just worse.
What do you mean every time you get it?
I get it probably every other summer.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, summertime and pneumonia and I are not. Mm-mm. I haven't had it in 2 years, so let's make it 3.
Well, you know what they say to get rid of that is watch some more horror films.
Okay. I will keep that in mind.
Or Showgirls.
Showgirls. Showgirls might give you AIDS.
Oh, no. Shit.
We'll go back to that theme, which is exactly the same as it was before, but works in a totally different way.
Yep.
Before we cut to the 80s sitcom opening credits.
I just love it.
I mean, you can recut this with so many songs, and it still works.
Yeah. This is one of those VHS tapes. You know, I'm holding up my tape recorder, recording the end credits. No other way to listen to this.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
It's just like Full House or something like that, isn't it?
Yep.
Brilliant.
But it's
She is
interesting
still
that
pretty today, by the way. I looked her up, and she is still gorgeous.
really.
She reminds me of Kristen Kruick. I don't know. I see a resemblance there. But
It's funny that Schwarzenegger's the only one that
never
didn't
did a
do one
shot
of these,
like
right?
that with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Because they just used a previous shot from the film for him, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. Everybody else did one of those. They look up and smile at the camera, and he's like, nope. Yeah, great. Kevin Peter Hall. I heard so many shoddy re-recordings of this before it finally came out on, the original soundtrack came out back when it was like 2003. Some bad recordings. City of Prague Philharmonic recordings. They're terrible.
Why is this complicated to play? This doesn't seem like it should be that complicated.
Oh, it is. Yeah, the odd meters, all the mixed meters, the even the kneeling it's really tough because that's a sound effect on the keyboard, and when they're re-recording it live, they use what is it called? It's not a shaker. It's like this rounded thing, and it has all these beads around it, and you kind of move it back and forth and goes. I forgot what those things are called. And
like a tambourine, but not.
No, I forgot what it's called. I performed it back when I was high school, and it's tough to do it really fast and make it sound like sharp and proper.
Okay.
But I mean, Alan Silvestri did eventually do all of this acoustically, though, in Predator 2.
With the Skywalker Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah, so there was no the electronic effects weren't there. So it's very different.
When are you going to bite the bullet, Birdman, and go and get the LP of Predator 2?
Oh, it's called
If I can find one for under $100, I may do it this month.
So the instrument I was talking about was called it's a cabasa. Yeah, and so it's like looks like I don't know, like a wooden cup, but with all these beads around it. And that's what they would perform on re-recordings of it. It's really shoddy.
I remember getting burnt a few times. Going to a garage and buy before I knew any better, you buy a double tape with all these great movie themes on. Whack it, drive away. It's like the scene from Lethal Weapon 2 where they fuck you in the drive-through. You drive away from the garage, put this tape in, you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Like done on a synthesizer or something like that. Sounds like garbage. Yeah, it's a great movie.
One of the best of the 80s.
I got to see this again in the cinema a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
They re-released it. I think it might have been 2018, something like that. It was just awesome. If you ever get the opportunity to see it on a big screen, do it. It's just
price-wise for the Atrocity, $24.99. Is that good?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Is it still in print in Entrada?
It is. I thought it was sold out.
No, there's 2 editions of it, but that's a good price if you can get it.
Oh, you saw it on the big screen though? Did you appreciate it more by seeing it on the big screen?
I know it like the back of my hand, but yeah, it was brilliant. It was one of them films where I was, even though I'd seen it 100 times before, I was just glued to the screen for every second of it.
I've seen Alien on the big screen a couple of times. I've done some a dinner theater in Orlando, and they would show on Halloween they would show horror movies, and one of them was Alien. So I saw that on the big screen. Then I saw the I think Fathom Events did one too.
Yeah, we've got a similar thing over here called Park Circus that do all those sort of events.
Cool.
So Predator's still available from Entrada, $19.99.
Yeah, $20.
Oh, really? Oh, that's less. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's in the MAF category of their releases, so that means those ones stay in print no matter what. Okay. So it's not a limited edition.
I might have to pick that up myself.
Yeah. So it's
don't go looking for Predator 2 from the complete one though. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's a lot.
Let's see if they've restocked Beverly Hills Cop 2.
So what's next on the docket?
Well, we can do Showgirls. It's just a matter of scheduling it and maybe find some other victims. I mean participants.
I'm excited that it's your first time seeing it. I just wanna watch you react to it.
I think we'll have to put like a disclaimer on.
Well, we're not showing anything, are we? We're just reacting to it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes I come up with like colorful analogies or phrases, and
Did Verhoeven do Wild Things, or am I thinking of some other director?
No, that's somebody else. But that's not. It wasn't a terrible film, but it has a great score. It is a sleazy, dirty score. It's awesome.
Predator 2 is $169 on eBay right now.
Wow,
that's the LP. Yeah.
Wow. Well, isn't yeah, I mean, I guess that's the own. If you want to listen to it, I think it could be on Spotify because it's the Brez album, but I could be wrong. I don't think it is.
How much did you pay for your copy, Retro? On LP?
I wouldn't like to say.
Okay, that's fine. I understand.
No, it was. I got it from a friend who now regrets selling it.
Okay,
that way. A very good price.
Like $129 plus $30 shipping from Germany. $169, $10 shipping from Greece. Those are the only two options.
Never saw Showgirls. Is it like RoboCop? It's exactly like RoboCop.
Gigawatt, would you like to come on that show and we can experience it together?
Oh my god, yeah. The more people who haven't seen it, the better.
I mean, I haven't seen RoboCop either.
You what?
Oh no!
Really?
You did just say that.
You haven't seen RoboCop?
Oh come on! Look, I'm 3 weeks away from my vacation. Can we do Showgirls and RoboCop in the next 3 weeks?
We need another sideshow called Educating Birdman.
Yeah.
What? You haven't seen RoboCop, Birdman?
I wasn't really allowed to watch our movies as a child.
You're supposed to sneak.
You haven't been a child for like however many years, man.
That's true.
Oh, let's do that one too. Let's do Verhoeven. No,
you have Starship Troopers. We do Starship Troopers.
You've seen Starship Troopers.
No.
No. Okay. No. All right. It's Verhoeven week. Next 3 weeks is Verhoeven. RoboCop, Starship Troopers, and Showgirls.
Okay, so we got Starship Troopers, Showgirls, and RoboCop.
Yeah.
Whatever order you feel is best. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to start from the beginning if you're gonna go through them.
Or you could do RoboCop. Then RoboCop would have to be first, then, right?
That's right.
Yeah. That's just nuts that you haven't seen RoboCop. Jesus, man.
There's so many quotes from that movie.
Oh my god, yeah.
I mean, I've seen bits and pieces on like the YouTube.
Well, that don't count.
You got to see the whole thing.
You think you're pretty smart? Can you outsmart a bullet? Remember that? In the gas station.
I don't think bullets are very smart.
No, it's just the villains in this movie are awful, and it's both
Vinyl
Score. Did you just drop a video today about Miss 80s soundtrack?
Yes, he did. He did the.
I saw that. That was a good video. I enjoyed that.
It was good. I was laughing quite a few times watching that, especially during all his mistakes.
No, it was a good video.
It was.
I have seen RoboCop 2. I did see that.
What?
What? You weren't allowed to. How could you see 2?
Yeah, how could you?
I was older at that point in time.
Well, like 3 years older.
Okay, like 16 or 19. Which one are you going to date? The 19-year-old, of course.
Did you not understand what was going on in RoboCop 2 because you didn't see the first one?
Well, I think he was a cop that got killed and came back as RoboCop.
Okay.
Oh, well, you got to see
I'm not
how
surprised
he
you haven't seen
dies.
RoboCop. this guy hasn't seen The Shining or Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh.
Please tell me you haven't seen RoboCop 3.
No, I didn't care for the second one, so I just liked to,
Oh.
See, I'm one of the few people, I guess, that defends 2.
I
do
like 2 a lot.
But yeah,
I like 2 a lot.
yeah,
Yeah, but
one
one
is
a freaking classic.
Classic, yeah.
Like even just the stop motion of the Ed 209. I mean, God, you talk about threatening characters. I mean, the Ed 209 is up there with the Predator. I mean, this guy. You have 20 seconds. Drop the gun.
It's just there's some terrifying villains in that movie too.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
I've argued it's my favorite. If you count RoboCop as a superhero movie, it's my favorite superhero movie. That's I've always said that. It's just okay.
So yeah, we've got to do Educating Birdman.
I think
it'd be like Driving Miss Daisy, but it'd be Educating Birdman.
Have you seen Driving Miss Daisy, Birdman?
No.
Okay, that I haven't. I could do. Okay.
We'll have to come up with a list of like
the classics that he
50
hasn't
or
seen.
100 movies.
Howard's End.
Everyone should have seen that you haven't.
Howard's End. Did you watch the recent miniseries based on Howard's End, Birdman?
I did not. Where is it available at?
It was on Stars, I believe.
I don't have Stars.
I haven't seen it. Okay.
Hey, I found the guy's website who made the knives for Predator.
Oh, does he sell them?
Yes, they're all custom made. So I'm seeing dollar signs like flying through the air right now. Jack W. Crane Knives. He's out of Texas. Predator, Commando, Demolition Man, Executive Decision, Fort Fairlane, Dracula 2000, Kung Fu: The Legend Continues, War of the Worlds, Predator 2, Roadhouse, Action Jackson, Die Hard 1 and 2. Says the last sentence is, look around, you might want me to personally make a custom knife for you. That just sounds expensive.
Yeah.
Where's a knife in Die Hard?
That's what I was thinking. There was one in Die Hard 2. Where was the knife in the original Die Hard?
Sure, there was a knife at some point, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Did somebody cut a wire with a knife in some scene or something? I don't know.
Didn't Carl have a knife?
No.
He had styrofoam.
No.
There was no knife fights. There was no one threatened with a knife.
He had something that he was cutting up Weapons of Die Hard. Wow, there's actually a web page for the Weapons of Die Hard.
Yeah. He bashed up the ice with the gun, didn't he? The ice bucket. That was...
I mean, Ian's always making fun of my little pocket knife, calling it a saber
Rambo knife. Yeah,
yeah, it's not that big. But I told you that he was like buying one and sending it to him, but I wasn't sure if that would clear customs or not.
I've seen you can buy the Predator knife replica of it, full size.
Oh, maybe we're thinking of the knife from Die Hard 3 that the woman has.
With a woman.
Yeah.
She was scary.
She was.
I think I saw her on Tinder the other day.
So, is it a RoboCop next week?
That's fine with me.
That would be awesome.
And y'all are available.
And then Starship, and then Strip.
You've done Basic Instinct already.
Not striptease. Yeah. No, showgirls.
Not striptease. Showgirls. Striptease. Oui. That's a pretty amazing double feature, though.
Have you done Basic Instinct already on here?
Yes, we did that a while back. Remember, we haven't done Basic Instinct 2.
Don't.
That might be a first for YouTube because I doubt anyone has ever done that. because it's shit.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Who was the male lead in that movie? Was it the guy that played the governor on Walking Dead?
It was some.
It was a
somebody
British
nobody
actor.
knew.
And I
Yes.
wonder, okay, because I thought that was him. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
David Morrissey.
That's the one.
Yeah, we've done Total Recall vinyl score. We
Yeah.
did that with Eric actually. In fact,
Yep.
was that the first
That
stream
probably
with
the
Eric?
first one, maybe.
Yeah.
But RoboCop's an absolute must.
Yeah,
It
RoboCop.
is.
Okay, which cut of RoboCop? Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Either.
The
I'm fine with
director's
either.
cut.
I'll get my hands on theatrical.
We'll go for the directors.
I would go for
I-
director's cut
Yeah, I usually prefer the directors too.
just
It's
for
not-
how
It's not like
absolutely
it's that
nasty it is.
extended. It's like 30 seconds at most, right? It's just yeah.
it's the squibs. It's all
But
about the
to be
squibs.
fair, I remember being a kid and seeing the theatrical cut, thinking this is rather brutal.
Yeah.
Even the theatrical version, they got away with a lot in that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a big lesson to learn from this, though. Do not ever watch a sequel and then make your mind up that you don't want to watch the first. Because
That's a valid point.
RoboCop is so many things that the sequel can't even compare to.
That's right. It
But
tries.
I did that
It's
with
like
Mad Max.
politics. It's almost like a metaphor for Jesus in some places.
Yep.
It's got everything that RoboCop can only ever dream of. It's like Coke and Diet Coke. Or in fact, it's like Coke Zero versus Coca-Cola. There's no caffeine, no sugar, everything that makes Coke great. So there you go.
Yeah. It's a classic for a reason. I mean, there's a reason why they re-released it in the theaters last month. So
Did anyone see the RoboCop remake?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
garbage.
I didn't bother. I
It
do like
wasn't one of
Michael
the worst
Keaton, but
remakes.
that's sort of how my impression. Like it's probably fair, but it's still not as good as the original. So why bother?
No,
It's
nothing ever
like,
will be.
Yeah.
It's pointless. It doesn't have like the thing is if you RoboCop is a special thing. It almost seems like it could only be done in 1987 just for what was happening in the world then and the things that the film was talking about. But also again, we're talking about the evolution of film and we're in the 80s where just things are getting more and more violent, and here you got this guy from Europe who's experienced film in a completely different way, where sex and violence, it's just on, it's way up here compared to everything in American film, and he's bringing that sensibility to American movies, and he makes RoboCop and he makes Basic Instinct with just are things that you've never seen before, even Total Recall. And so yeah, it was the fact that Verhoeven got so much into this movie, and he was able to bring so much and really make it his own. And it's really, there's nothing like it. There is absolutely nothing like it that came before or since.
No, I agree.
It's its own thing. And the thing is, it's like, oh, it's RoboCop. It's RoboCop, and it's like, oh yeah, that could be really cool. But then once you see it, you're like, man, they piled so much into it, and it's satire as well. It's very funny, and so yeah, RoboCop just kind of stands on its own as it's just this beacon of 80s films that it just lives on a whole different level than anything else. For when it comes down to genre of films,
viewpoints of as well. You can watch it 3 times and get 3 different things out of it.
Exactly. And that's what I would do. I would watch it for like one thing, and then I'd watch it for another thing, and I'd pay attention to something else. You could revisit. It's much like Predator. You could just kind of revisit every time and just see something new or different. You're not going to be disappointed, Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the score is brilliant too.
Yeah.
Basil Fedor's did RoboCop, right?
Yeah.
And Starship Troopers?
He did Starship Troopers as well, yeah.
Who did Showgirls?
No, none of them. Somebody else. But yeah, like Paul Doris was the first. He did Flesh and Blood. and I think that was Verhoeven's first was it his first American film?
It might
Flesh
have
and
been.
Blood. And then it came to RoboCop.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to work with Goldsmith. So Hollow Man's in there as well. Have you seen that?
Yeah, brilliant.
No, that's a lot of fun. That's like the last.
That was Goldsmith, right?
That was Goldsmith, and it's a pretty solid movie as well. But yeah, RoboCop. I think you're gonna.
Okay, so next
I
week
hope you enjoy it.
RoboCop, and then
Starship Troopers.
No, well, Showgirls was before Starship Troopers, if we're going in order, right? Was it?
Was it?
I thought it was.
I don't think it matters what order you do them in, but
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah,
matter.
I don't think it matters either. So do whatever you guys think is best. Yeah, I don't.
Showgirls will probably get sent off before someone goes on vacation.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
She'll
need time to recover, I'm thinking.
Just out of interest, so you don't really like horror films? Have you missed out on all these great horror scores over the years because you don't like the films?
I own some horror scores. I just don't like.
You were not talking about Star Trek 2.
No, that was kind of like a ha-ha thing for the video. I thought it would get some traction in the
Things
chat.
like Nightmare on Elm Street, The Shining.
I probably would not listen to Nightmare on Elm Street. I would give The Shining a go.
Wow.
Why? If you haven't seen either, what's the difference?
Oh,
what's your thoughts on it?
To me, Nightmare on Elm Street, it's a lot of killing that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me.
Wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, that's wrong.
There's a big. We're going back to what I just said about sequels versus originals. Even the scores for the sequels on Nightmare on Elm Street are great. Scores.
Can I tell you though? I saw Nightmare on Elm Street 2 before seeing Nightmare on Elm Street 1.
Did you take the same advice that I just?
I eventually went back and saw the first one. Actually, it's funny. I recently got the a couple years ago. I did pick up. It was cheap, so I got the Blu-ray set of all of the movies. I need to get around to. I've only seen like the first couple. I think I've seen parts of Dream Warriors, so I need to hunker down and watch those. But
Prince of Darkness is
Prince of Darkness. I've seen. I have that. Yeah,
it's my favorite Carpenter score, and I adore the movie. It terrified me as a kid. The moment I see that transmission from the future, forget about it.
Creepy
nightmares.
You know what gets me in that movie is I think is it when the Alice Cooper type guy comes up and he say, yes. I have a message for you, and you're not going to like it.
Yeah,
pray for death. It's like,
I was just, come on. Yeah.
Oh,
this is a broadcast from the year 1990. I'm like, oh my Lord, what are you guys doing to me?
It wasn't the Alice Cooper guy, it was somebody else. Okay. It's been
no, there's the broadcast, right? And then they play it like 4 times in the films as well, but it's this garbled, doubled or tripled voice, right? Where it's like, this is not a dream. And I'm like, oh no. This is a broadcast from the year 1999. I'm like, oh man. And it's this like shaky, video camera shot. And it's, it terrified me. I saw it on television. I'm like, I had nightmares for weeks. And it does have a great final shot.
Underlooked film.
I love that score, the pulsating score, and then just that final shot in it too. Like, when the guy's his hand's gonna touch the mirror, cuts off, and you're like, man. But it's all about Liquid Satan, which I think is hysterical. But they pull it off. Yeah, like it's a Prince of Darkness is quite a unique horror film because it brings in science into religion, and they try to make sense out of it that way, and it's really well thought out, I think, and it's wonderfully shot, and not too many locations. It's like this is one small church, and I mean it turns into sort of like a zombie film near the end, but there's some really great ideas and some really good scares, and like I said, it's a great score.
wonder.
There's so many great horror movies
Yeah.
with great horror scores. We could carry on this series for ages.
Well, I've gotten him to watch some. Like I said, we did the Omen movies last fall. In fact,
Things like Reanimator and stuff like that.
I saw that on TV.
yeah,
Yeah.
Reanimator
The
is
commercial.
fascinating.
I think they cut out some stuff.
It's a spoof of the Psycho theme. It's the
Mhm.
writer of the story even said, "I'm spoofing," and they said the Bernard Herrmann Society gave him shit over that. They were
please.
not. And he's like, "That's the whole point. I'm throwing
right.
in cues that would be absurd for the Bernard Herrmann theme. Like it was meant as a parody. You know,
Yeah.
that's what he said. It's just
Yeah. But have you seen Hellraiser?
No.
Have you listened to the score?
Do you?
Yeah, it does have a great score.
No.
You would like the score. It's an epic score. Epic
You
score.
got Again, another one that just freaks the hell out of me because Hellraiser 2, and unless you read the liner notes, you won't realize what's happening. But there's one cue, and it's still terrifying without knowing what's happening. But Christopher Young is in the background. He's got this really low synthesized sound that is actually spelling out the word God in SOS underneath this whole cue, and it's like,
oh wow,
freaking me out. But Hellraiser 2 is like classic. Yeah, the Hellraiser 1's great. Hellraiser 2 is even better. And then Randy, who's the guy who did number 3? He did a great take on Christopher Young's material, and they're all just like gothic, epic horror scores, like really melodic, like huge choir and huge orchestra. So yeah, I mean, Christopher Young's just like the quintessential horror composer. He's written some real creepy stuff. Like, I mean, Sinister is one of those out there scores where he purposely decided he was going to experiment with electronics for one of the first times in his career, because that's what he always wanted to do. He wanted to do just this all electronic weird ass score for Sinister, and it's superb. But you got to hear some of his horror stuff. They're a lot of fun. Like it's never been released, but it's called Urban Legend, and it's got an amazing action track called Sexual Acts. It's so much fun, but it's written in that kind of 90s, that mid 90s, late 90s Beltrami slasher style. A lot of fun. But Young's incredible, and so if you haven't heard any of his horror music, I highly recommend you do. Like even what's that alien ripoff movie that they did with Natasha Henstridge?
Species.
Species. The
really
most expensive
cool
soft porn movie ever made.
That's another good one we got to watch. You know what? Showgirls and Species as a back-to-back. That'd be fun.
I saw that in the movies when the summer it came out. I saw Species, and it's like
that's like a ripoff of Life Force. Did you ever see that?
Oh,
yes,
Life Force!
It's actually fun.
I have that on Blu-ray. Yeah, that's the Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
I'm wondering in the UK, was Life Force put up by Arrow on Blu-ray, or was it put up by somebody else?
Yeah, it's just come out in the States on 4K.
Yeah, Scream Factory put it out over here on a regular Blu-ray, but Shout Factory.
Although the 4K is only the theatrical, not the director's cut.
Oh, I see.
The Randy composer I was thinking of was Randy Miller, who wrote Hellraiser 3, and it's amazing. So if you like the Hellraiser music, you'll love Hellraiser 3. It's just Randy Miller taking Young's material and just turning it up to 11.
Have you seen Videodrome?
That's excellent.
Yes, that's a good one. I have the Criterion regular DVD, but it was cool because it comes in a box that looks like a VHS tape.
Oh, does it?
I'd love to do a stream just to see your reaction to it.
Oh my God, yeah.
We should have them do a Cronenberg month. We have what is it? There are other things. There's like
The Fly.
Yeah, but even history of violence. That's a good one. Yeah, I mean,
history of violence. Crash will mess you up.
Nightbreed. It's not a Cronenberg film, but he's in it.
Yeah. Danny Elfman chorusing.
Yeah, Danny Elfman done Nightbreed.
Oh,
yeah. What's the one with The Dead Zone. Did you do Dead Zone?
Yeah, Cronenberg directed Dead Zone. That's a good Stephen King. That has a thriller vibe to it though, so I don't think
And I think that's the one where
Yeah.
he was forced to use somebody other than Howard Shore on that project. Michael Kamen wrote the score. So it's one of those rare non-Cronenberg Shore collaborations. And Kamen's score is excellent. But
is The Fly worth watching?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum. You like Jeff Goldblum, right? Maybe.
He's Jeff Goldblum. You know?
Yeah. It greatly improves on the original, and it's not even the same as the original. It's just have you heard the score?
No, I don't think I have.
Well, a lot of these things are probably on YouTube if you just want to give them a listen, just to see if they're
Yeah.
to your like.
I know I saw The Fly 2 on HBO back in the day.
See, you're watching all the wrong movies.
The original and the sequel.
It had that Daphne girl in it. She's very attractive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the oh no.
There's
You
a link
guys
there because
stop.
it wasn't known until recent years that Mel Brooks was actually one of the producers of The Fly, uncredited.
Was he really?
And he directed The Fly too. I'm kidding.
And Daphne Zuniga was in Spaceballs, who also was in The Fly too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
We're going to
Fly's
open your world,
Wow.
Mr. Birdman, to...
So what other sequels have you seen where you haven't seen the original? That's what I'm wondering about. Like Police
You've
Academy
seen
2,
Alien,
you should
right?
really see
You've-
Police
Yeah,
Academy 2.
no, I've seen all the Alien movies.
Okay, all right. Alien's a horror movie.
Like only Porky's 2 and not the original.
No, I haven't seen either of those. I never saw the first Police Academy, but I think I've seen all the others.
Have you seen Jurassic Park?
Yes, several times.
I only saw The Lost World. I gave up on that series. That should be
I enjoyed The Lost World.
well, you and I. Well, that's okay.
I enjoyed The Lost World as well. But I have seen Jurassic Park. And I saw Jurassic Park first.
What's the vibe coming from the new one? Is the word of mouth good or bad?
Ooh, wow, it's
Bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think-
It was
Big
released
Al
in
said-
Hong Kong several weeks ago, and you can actually get it online.
Oh my
Yeah,
word.
the
And loads
film's
of
already
people said
online?
It's absolute
It is
shit.
because Big Al saw it. He said it had its moments. I think is what he said.
Oh,
The
I don't
general
know.
vibe is a wasted opportunity.
like once you get into the 6 of something of a series, you can't. Why? What are you doing? Like, I mean, and I thought the second Jurassic World film was terrible. I mean, I didn't like the first one either, but I mean, the second one was awful.
I like the first Jurassic World. I know probably purists who like the original trilogy wouldn't, but I thought it was just ridiculous that they came up with another park and
Yeah.
and we're gonna make designer dinosaurs that are worse predators. And I thought that this is so stupid, but I could see this being a thing in the real world. But but I didn't like the clone girl, and I think she's more prominent in this sequel, so
Isn't
that's
that
not good.
ridiculous?
Yeah, no. I thought she was gonna be part raptor, like it was gonna be like a species callback, like her eyes would become raptor eyes when Noah's around. She'd attack people and just. But no, that's not what that's not what they did. But I thought that's what they should have done.
If they had
she's
put
part raptor.
lasers like on a tyrannosaur, I'd be first in line because it's like I said, you're number 6, man. You've got to do something ridiculous in order to bring people into the
World War Jurassic,
shit,
World War Jurassic, where the
Yes.
nations are fighting on
Yes.
dinosaurs with lasers.
dinosaurs with laser guns, please. But I know the first one was a massive hit, but was the second one, did it do well even though it was a piece of crap?
I think it did because
It made money.
They did because that was like the first big movie of the summer. I think and then there was Jurassic Park 3, which was kind of a smaller scale movie. I thought.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
I enjoyed that one better than 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved 3, and again, it's because Stan Winston's involved, and he's it's the animatronics are so.
And Sam
so
Neill.
good.
Sam Neill was back, so I liked.
Yeah, and so I'm okay with it. And Joe Johnston's a competent director, but the Jurassic World series just seemed to be just way off from the beginning for me.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, that Jurassic. What's the second one? What's the Jurassic
Fallen
World one?
Kingdom.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
It did
just-
$1.310 billion. The budget was $187 million, so it made money.
Fallen Kingdom did.
Yeah.
Holy smokes! Wow.
Yeah, it was fall. I confused that with Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. Okay, these titles.
Wow.
It's got 47% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.1 on IMDb,
All right.
and 51 on Metacritic.
But it's got a great Giacchino score. That second one is amazing. I mean, so good.
Another good rule is not to listen to anybody about what they think of any film and just to watch it for yourself.
Very true.
Very true.
But take our word for it. RoboCop is amazing.
Unless you're talking to us.
So Birdman, you saw American Ninja 2, but not American Ninja, right?
You know what's funny? Imagine he watched Friday the 13th Part 2, and then he sees the first one. He's like, "Where the hell is Jason?"
I think I only saw parts of the fourth or fifth one.
The fifth one,
know.
no. Which one?
We got to go back to those as well. Then let's do the whole lot.
I think it's the fourth one. Is the fourth one the best one? Is that which one's the one that
The
has
fourth
Corey?
one is the best one. I think 2 isn't bad. I think 3.
Four's
Don't get me
got
started
Corey.
on 3.
6 is fun, and I haven't seen 7, but a lot of people seem to really like 7. But what's the one with
7's the one with
Corey
the psychic
Haim in it.
girl, the scanner
Manhattan
girl.
is shite.
Corey Haim's Part 4, right? Or is that 5?
Yeah, Corey Haim's Part 4. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah.
I've heard good things about that one. Like I've seen 1, 2, 3, 6. I saw Jason in Space, which has one of the best kills of all time.
Oh no,
That's garbage movie. Besides the best.
no,
kill of
that
all
was
time.
hard to watch.
Yeah. And there's Jason in Manhattan, which I turned off after 15 minutes.
That's the one I saw. Yeah,
That's
he
just
went
ridiculous,
to
man.
New York.
Yeah, he
New
went
York
to New
City.
York.
Yeah,
It was 60 minutes.
I think
It's the
I think
one
that's
where the boat that's actually on a lake ends up in New York.
In New York City, yes.
Yeah.
Because
Where it's on
why
a
not?
lake,
Yeah.
which is a separated part of water, not
Yes.
connected to anything else. Yeah.
They maybe they dug a canal between that. And I don't know. I don't know. Just doesn't make any sense.
So what's final score saying? What 2, 4, and 6 of Friday the 13th are the best ones? That's what I figured. Yeah.
Or you could just watch The Burning and get like a better movie of the same type. But that's just me. What do I know?
Yeah.
The Burning.
What
No
do you
one's seen
think is
The
the
Burning.
best series of films like that have got consistently good scores?
Yep.
I think Nightmare on Elm Street's pretty good.
Mhm. Especially for how many composers worked on it.
Oh, you
Yeah.
score wise, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Halloween is almost with the exception of 3, it's just like rehash after
It's
rehash.
the same score, yeah. And I think Friday 13th, the complaint is I think even the composer said I'm just rehashing the same thing I did last time around.
But Manfredini did an amazing job on 6.
final
If you
score?
listen to 6 is crazy good. Crazy good. And it also has one of the funniest sequences was the James Bond reveal of Jason just before the main credits. I thought that was hilarious. Is that 6? When he turns around and he slashes the screen.
Yes, that's
shooting him like
6.
James Bond?
That's the one where they start adding humor into it. It's
well, that scene just freaked the hell out of me as a kid too. Like the whole stuff in the graveyard and him coming to life that way.
Horseshack, the actor who played any of you remember Welcome Back, Kotter? Maybe I'm the only one, but the 76 Horseshack was playing the guy with him. And I was angry because I was expecting, like, when Jason sat them, him to start saying, ooh, 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 before he dies. They should have done that. Just, maybe it was a license issue. He couldn't say ooh, ooh, ooh on the Friday 13th movie because that was a copyright violation of Welcome Back, Kotter. But it was him. It was Horseshack. He was the guy with him. It's like, no. Just
the score for 3, I love that disco.
It's funny. I actually bought that track just by itself, an MP3 of it. I did buy that just for the disco. Friday 13th. Or is that part 2? No, it's part 3. You're right. No, it isn't 3D because they do the rehash of part 2 at the beginning. They do the rehash. They always rehash what happened in the last movie. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. All right.
So
I'm gonna have
we've
to
got
call it a
about
night.
another 10 years worth of
Yeah.
shows.
You're right. I think it's schooling Birdman, and we just got to pick the stuff that he's never seen before, and we'll have a good time. But I think the next 3 weeks can be a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of fun. But you're
Someone
right.
wants to hop
Showgirl
in
should
on
be week 2.
Showgirl.
There's an idea. Do like a schooling Birdman month, though.
Yeah.
Just, no, I'm sorry. We love you, Birdman.
You've seen Conan the Barbarian, right? Or just
Several
Conan the
times.
Conan the Destroyer. Yes. Oh no! Don't listen to me during that commentary. I'm ranting about Conan the Destroyer because I'm probably too mean to that movie. I mean, there are things I like about it, but it's not Conan the Barbarian. It just isn't. It's
No, it's not. You're right.
it's someone's D&D campaign. They adapt into a screenplay. That's how that. I'm being mean. Just Grace Jones is nice, and I like seeing her in movies because she's insane. So I do like seeing her.
There's a whole new world of movies out there for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's
And
lots of
scores.
movies I've never seen. So
Well, that's exciting. Write a list. Let's go.
Did you see Lost Boys 2 and not Lost Boys 1?
I saw the first one.
Okay, good. Okay.
Good for you. Well, good.
I've only seen it on TV with commercials. I've never actually seen it.
Oh, the gory stuff, and it's fun because it's all the vampires getting torn up. So
I don't
getting
remember
messed
any
up.
first stuff on TBS, but
No, the traps they set up for the vampires are very clever to take out the vampires. Yeah, and it's not like on Buffy where they crumble to dust. It's more elaborate. Yeah.
hello, AJ's Movies Place. I haven't seen you around. Thank you for joining us. How did you find us? I'm curious. It's good to have new people.
I should really give each film a review on my channel. Yes, you should.
Have you, Birdman? Have you seen Speed, or did you just watch Speed 2?
I have not seen either.
Oh, don't
French
bother with
Connection,
2.
French Connection 2, and not French Connection.
And I've never
1.
seen The Matrix, so y'all can just have all the fun with that you want.
What?
Oh my god.
Jesus, man.
Oh,
I have the soundtrack.
dude. Dude.
Why?
How did you miss out on The Matrix the summer it came
Yeah.
out? It was the biggest
Like
movie.
Star Wars, boomer.
You've seen The Mummy? And
You saw The Mummy. You saw.
but you
to me,
didn't see The Matrix.
No.
Wow.
you saw Phantom Menace probably 3 times because everyone.
Yeah,
was
I
about-
saw it more than 3 times.
Oh, okay. I'm
Holy
just
smokes.
Matrix. You never seen The Matrix?
Nope.
Okay.
Any of them.
Nope.
Okay.
I've seen bits and pieces on TV, and I've listened to a bunch of reviews on The Matrix, but I've never sat down and watched The Matrix. But I do have the soundtrack.
You've seen Lethal Weapon?
All
Okay.
The
4.
first one?
Yeah.
Okay. Not just 4.
I saw 4, and I was like, what the? What?
Oh no. Though I'll
Oh
say
my-
this: Lethal Weapon 4 not as bad as Beverly Hills Cop 3. I'll say that.
Right. Exactly.
That was
I
the
agree.
worst, most disappointing sequel.
3
I
is
think I've seen in
terrible.
a while.
I'm trying to think of what else we got here.
French
Have y'all seen
Connection 2
Howard
versus
Stern,
French
Remains of the
Connection.
Day? Yeah. Have y'all seen Remains of the Day? It's
I have not.
okay.
I saw Shadowlands. That had Anthony Hopkins in it. You played.
Okay.
You've seen
Lewis.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I based my entire life around that movie.
Well, hey, we got a good list. You're gonna have a lot of fun. I honestly think you will. You'll enjoy watching these movies. Well,
These next 3.
you know what?
yes.
Even Showgirls. Even Showgirls.
In defense of Berman, I have yet to watch Showgirls either. I've seen it in pieces, but I do have the Blu-ray. It'll be a good excuse for me to finally
Which
watch
pieces
it. so.
have you seen, my
I,
friend?
quiet you. Kyle MacLachlan's in it. He's good in anything, right? And it's got Gina Gershon and
Yeah.
the chick who played what's her name on Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. And she's
Elizabeth Berkley?
grossly miscast, but
Elizabeth
she
Berkley.
will do anything and everything for that role.
She's so excited, and she just can't hide it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know what? Think of that scene, and then think
Balls
of
to the
her
wall,
in
baby. Yeah.
Showgirls. Just like, I've got to elevate. No, you don't, honey. It's honey.
What?
Sorry, has anybody seen the movie, then you'll know
Okay.
why that pun was accidental. But
All right. Well,
Gershon says it all the time, doesn't she? Doesn't she say honey? Does she say honey?
Darling.
Or darling. That's right.
Yeah, I saw the Honest trailer,
Darling.
and it's like, do you like looking at tits? Well, you won't after you watch this movie.
It
Huh.
becomes quite numbing. Yes, they just are there. Yeah.
Yeah, something about having sex with a fish or something. I was like, what?
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 Yeah,
No.
Scene in the hot tub. You know the
I thought you were talking about the lighthouse.
I don't know, Joker.
I don't know. You'll it's so bad it's good.
So
You're
bad.
gonna laugh.
All right.
That's what it is. It's so bad it's good. Has to be seen with the group.
Okay.
When we do Showgirls, can you do that impression again, Birdman?
Yes.
Okay.
Reanimate
And
me.
if anyone in the chat wants to get on the Showgirls thing, let me know because we have room to expand.
All right.
Yeah.
And thank you, AJ's Movie Place, for dropping by. It's good to see new people.
Yeah. Absolutely. All
Well,
right.
everyone, adopt, don't shop. Keep listening to great film scores. We'll be back next week with RoboCop, not the remake, but the original one. Right?
Awesome.
Yes.
The original.
The original.
Director's cut.
Director's cut.
Are
Okay.
you going to watch it beforehand, or are you going to wait until the stream?
Wait.
Which one should I do? Wait. Okay. Well, I'll do some research just so I know what I should be talking about. But I'll wait till the.
I think it's all about your reaction now.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I'll wait.
All right.
Rebrand it. Educating Birdman.
Yes.
We'll see y'all later.
Educating Birdman. Well, Paul Verhoeven. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.